Hey dear learners, welcome back to e-learning platform of GS College of Commerce, Verda. This lecture is for the BCom 5th semester for subject Indian Economy for the English medium. Today, we are going to see the roles or the importance of the public dates and the problems in public dates. In our last lecture, we have done the concept of public dates and the classification. Today, we would be seeing the importance as well as problems when you see this type of questions. So it's important from the examination point of view as well, but it can be asked for 16 marks when the papers are conducted in the traditional ways, but as we are not sure about the examination pattern, that examination pattern or the pattern in which examination would be conducted by university right now. So it's important for you to pay attention in each and every concept, so that if there is going to be any kind of MCQ, so you can give the answers of the questions which would be asked there. Because if you are prepared for the lengthy papers, if you are prepared for the traditional papers, so automatically you can give answers for the MCQs. So you are just required to keep watching the lectures on the YouTube. Okay, let's start with the topic then. So let's have a recap about what is public dates. Public dates are the borrowings of the government, which it can buy from the public. Public may be industrial, financial institutions, banks, foreign government, anybody. There can be classification, like it can borrow for the short period of time, it can borrow for the long period of time, it can invest for the productive purposes, it can spend for the unproductive purposes, it can borrow from the internal sources, means the sources which lies within the country, like banks, financial institutions, RBI, public, may way of issuing treasury bill and all. And it can borrow from the external sources as well. External sources consist of the world level institution like World Bank, IMF, etc. It can borrow, government can borrow from the government of other countries as well, which are known as foreign loans. Now we will see what are the roles of public dates in the economy and why it's important. So first one is to meet budget deficit. Budget deficit. What's the meaning by deficit? Deficit means the scarcity of something. Okay. So what's there when the country is developing? So of course it is necessary for the country to spend huge sum of money for the developmental purpose. So of course in developing country you will see the deficit budget. Most of the time the public expenditure of country is greater than the public revenue, and this public revenue falls short to meet this public expenditure. That's known as budget deficit. And to fill this budget deficit, to spend the amount for the public expenditure, the government is in need of taking public debt. So to meet with the public expenditure, which cannot be fully made by this public revenue, public debt is taken by government. So this way, to make the budget deficit, the public debts, government resort to the practice of taking the public debts or borrowing the public debts. The next one is to meet emergencies like war. See, there may be invasion from some other country, there may be war-like condition with another country, so the government needs to be ready for all these things. And when we talk about the modern wars, so it requires the modern equipments, it requires the modern weapons, which are quite expensive. Okay, so to be ready for the war, to fulfill the expenditures which are required for the defense, the government needs huge sum of money. And if the public revenue falls short to meet with all this expenditure, all this defense expenditure, so government resorts to the practice of borrowing public debt to meet all this expenditure. Next one is to finance developmental plans. When we talk about the developmental plans, so it basically consists of infrastructure building, social overheads, economic overheads for the development of the economy, for the development of the society. So what's there? Government needs to make huge expenditure on all these developmental plans. So in developing countries, generally we see the huge amount is spent on all these developmental plans, like for building infrastructure. Low capital is there, so and huge sum of money is needed. So public debt is need to be taken. If you see the social overheads and the economic overheads, so private sectors are not that much interested in taking up all those projects. So government has to take up those projects and provide those social and economic facilities to the people, and for that purpose as well, a huge amount of public expenditure needs to be spent, and public revenue falls short to meet with this expenditure, and for this purpose the government resorts to public debt. The next one is expansion of education and health. When we talk about the education and health, so it comes under the social overhead, okay, because when we talk about the education, we talk about the healthcare facilities. So it is a primary condition for the development of the society, okay, it's a primary condition for the economic development. And in developing countries, a huge sum of money needs to be spent for the expansion of this education sector and the healthcare sector, for providing this basic facilities to all people living in an economy. So it requires a huge sum of money that cannot be generated from the public by way of having the public revenue from the various sources like taxes and non-tax, like tax revenues and non-tax revenues. So when these public revenues are not sufficient to fulfill the need of expansion of education and health sector, so the government resorts to public debt, and public debt helps in expanding this sector. So this way it plays crucial role in expansion of education and health. The next one is to face depression. What is basically the depression? Depression is a situation whereby the GDP of country falls, whereby the effective demand is not there in the economy, or there is declining demand for the goods and services, and as a result of which the prices of goods and services are also declining. So what happened to increase the demand, to increase the price level, to check the situation of depression, the government needs to make public expenditure, and for making the public expenditure it needs public revenue. But when we talk about the public revenue, so it's not easy to increase public revenue, okay, because government cannot levy taxation after a point of time, because if it's going to put heavy burden of taxation on people, so it will adversely impact the ability to save and invest, it will adversely impact the ability to work, okay. So therefore when it cannot collect the public revenue, sufficient public revenue for making the public expenditure in order to increase the aggregate demand in the economy, so it takes public debt for making the public expenditure, so that this situation of depression can be checked. Because when the government will make public expenditure in the economy, like it's making investment in the infrastructure project, like for building roads, for railways, construction of dams, etc. So it will provide job to the people. It will provide, increase the demand for the goods and services which are required for the building and the constructions of the road, etc. So this way money can be circulated in economy, purchasing power can be given in the hands of people, so that they will make demand for the goods and services, and depression can be curbed, depression can be checked. So this way public debt helps to face depression as well. to curb inflation. Inflation is generally a situation whereby the purchasing power of people are high, whereby there is too much flow of money for few goods and services in the economy, and due to this the prices of goods and services are on rising. Okay, so this situation of inflation is not that good for the economy. So to curb this situation, public debt helps the government. How? Because if the government collects the public debts, so what happens? The purchasing power of people goes to the government. Okay, because suppose say government is issuing treasury bill and people are subscribing to those bills. So now what will happen? People would be investing their money in subscribing to those treasury bills. So now of course their purchasing power in their hands are reduced. So this way, when the government resorts to the public debt, when it borrows money from the people, so their purchasing power in the hands of people reduces, and of course when the purchasing power reduces, so they will also decline their demand for the goods and services, so that it will impact the prices of goods and services, and this way the inflation can be curtailed. So public debt also helps to curtail inflation in the economy. The next one is welfare state. See, when we talk about the modern government, so it's a welfare state. Instead of paying more focus on public debts, it focuses on the developmental plans. It focuses on the developmental plans, it focuses on the development of the economy and the people. But when we talk about the development of the economy and the people, so it requires economic growth, it requires economic development, for which a huge amount of expenditure needs to be spent. And in developing country, of course, this public revenue falls short to meet the need of public expenditure, and for completing the developmental plans for the sake of development of the society as well as the economy, the government needs to resort to the public debt. So public debt also helps in promotion of welfare state when it is used for the productive purposes. The next one is financing public sector units. See, as we have seen that public sector units are the units which are owned by the government, where more than 51% shares acquired by the government. But when these public sector units are not in good condition, when these public sector units are in sick conditions, so now what government needs to do? Government needs to provide them finance for the sake of rehabilitation. Government needs to provide them support so that they can come back to a win-win situation. Okay, they can come out of losses. Government has to provide them support for compensating their losses and to rehabilitate themselves. So this way, for financing public sector units as well, the government borrows the public debt. So these are the various importance or the roles of public debt in economy. Now we will see the problems of public debts or the demerits of public debt. Means how it can be a challenge for economy, how it can create a challenge for the economy. First one is exploitation of resources. See, when we take the public debt and in case it's external, so what would happen? We have to agree to the terms and condition of the lender country, and we have to use it for the purpose which is being laid down by the lender country, because we are taking loan from them, so we will have to accept the conditions that they are laying down. So this way exploitation of resources is there, means we cannot use it for the purpose that we want, we have to use it according to the lender. So this way it leads to the exploitation of resources. Next is fear of freedom. See, when we talk about the freedom, so political independence is nothing without economic independence, because when you can develop your economy, when you can develop your country, when you have a decision making power, then only you can take the decisions for the development of your economy and the country. And in case you are taking debt from another country and there are certain terms and conditions that you are accepting, and you are not free to make the use of your resources, you are not free to make the decisions for using your resources. In this case, you are losing your economic independence, you are losing your economic freedom, and political freedom without economic freedom is nothing. So this way, if you are taking the public debt, especially from the external sources, and they are laying down their own terms and conditions, so there is of course the fear of losing freedom. Okay, the next one is burden on public. When you are resorting to public debt, when the government is resorting to the public debt, so of course it has to repay the debt, and along with the repayment of debt, it has to pay some amount of interest on debt. But when it has to pay the interest, so from where government will get money from making payment of those interest? Public revenues. Public revenues are the sources of money for the government. Okay, so in case the government has to collect the money for making the repayment of those interests, so now what government will do? It will levy higher amount of taxation on public, and of course when the higher amount of taxation is being levied on the public, higher amount of taxes are being collected from the public, so it will put burden on them. So this way, when it comes to the repayment of the public debts and the interest on public debt, so it creates a burden on public, because taxes or the public revenues are used for making the repayment of interest as well as public debts. The next one is weaker economy. Of course, it again relates to the fear of freedom. When you are making decision not by your own, but the terms and but on the basis of terms and conditions which are being laid down by the lending country, which are being laid down by the external forces, so it may not be beneficial for the development of your economy, and it will lead to the weaker economy, because you don't have economic independence over here, and when there is no economic independence in the economy, it leads to the weaker economy. The next one is capital displacement. See, when there is competition between the public sector and the private sector, when for raising the debts, when the public debts are being borrowed and the government is offering the higher amount of interest than the private sector, so what happens? The capital goes to the government, capital goes to the public sector, and due to this the capital inflow of private sector declines. Okay, and because of this the ability of the private sector to to use the amount for the productive purposes also declines. So this way public debts leads to the capital displacement from productive purposes to unproductive purposes. Say if the government is borrowing the debt for the sake of unproductive expenses like making the payment of interest, VAR, for meeting with the requirement of the natural calamities, etc. So it will not give any income, it will not yield any income in return. So but instead of this, if the amount is being given to the public sector in the form private sector in the forms of debt, and they are utilizing it for the production purpose, so of course it will lead to the economic growth and the development of the country. It will lead to the creation of employment opportunity in the country. So when there is the public debt, when the government offers more interest rate than the private sectors, so it leads to the capital displacement. So this way public debt leads to the capital displacement as well. Next one is efficiency and welfare losses from taxation. See, if the amount of taxes are being taken and the rate of taxes are being increased in the economy, and it's being utilized for the payment of interest on the public debt or repayment of public debt, so of course there is loss of welfare, there is loss of efficiency. So public debt, when becomes a burden, when the interest that needs to be paid on public debt becomes a burden, and the government needs to repay it by way of levying taxes on the people, so of course it leads to efficiency and welfare losses from taxation. The next one is uneconomical. See, public debts are generally uneconomical because when we talk about the repayment of the interest, so of course this interest on public debt is an unproductive expenditure. It doesn't yield any income to the government. It doesn't make addition to the productive capacity of the country. It doesn't lead to the creation of asset for the country. So of course the expenditure on payment of interest on public debt is unproductive one, and therefore it's a uneconomical one. It doesn't bring any kind of benefit to the economy. So these are the various problems with the public debt. In our next lecture we are going to see the remedies to decline the public debt or to curb the problem of public debts. Till then, keep watching the YouTube lectures, stay safe and be ready for the examinations. Thank you.